Hey guys, I'm Martin Geek. In this video, I wanted to share something different because in this video, I want to share with you why I think that playing games on your TV, sitting on the couch from an Xbox or a PlayStation, that's actually dead. That's actually dead, and it's thanks to handheld devices. And I'm going to explain you guys why. So first, let's go and start from basically my beginning, right? I've always been a huge fan of playing video games on mobile devices, whether it was an old classic smartphone or phone, dumb phone, or the Nintendo 3DS or 2DS, and of course the PSP. Huge fan. I don't have a PSP right here right now, but I do have the PlayStation Vita, right? And the PlayStation Vita actually came out in 2011, December 2011 in Japan, and I have it since then because I am actually imported it from Japan, and it actually out in the United States in February 2012, right? But one thing that I started doing here on the PlayStation Vita, which for me was a feature that till this day we're actually trying to perfect it, is PlayStation Remote Play. I started playing PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation Vita since it came out, since it was a feature announced for the PlayStation Vita. And for me, that was freaking awesome. A lot of people, I remember, if you read in my comments, that were criticizing me playing big games on the small screen because why would you want to do that when you have a big TV, right? But I don't know. I loved it. I loved the fact that I could play PlayStation 4 games on the go via remote play on my small screen here on the PlayStation Vita. And just like you see on my channel, I have a whole bunch of videos being played on the PlayStation Vita via remote play from the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, and I loved it. That was a feature for me, was ahead of its time. That's why I really love the PlayStation Vita. Of course, this is not the original PlayStation Vita that came out. This is the 2000 version, which is the slimmer version, and I still love it. I still have it. I'm not gonna sell it at all. But guess what? In 2013, we got the PlayStation Vita TV. The PlayStation Vita TV was this device right here. And this, what it was meant to, it was actually meant to actually play PlayStation Vita games on your TV, just like the same thing that you do with the Nintendo Switch, but with the PlayStation Vita. Back in the day when it first came out, and it was actually branded PlayStation Vita TV. When it came out here in the United States, like more than a year later, then they changed it to PlayStation TV. And the problem with this, the reason why it failed, it was because it couldn't play PlayStation Vita games on the TV. There was a whole bunch of games that were not compatible with this device, and that's why a lot of people didn't buy it, because your favorite games couldn't be played on the TV. And that's why the reality of trying to make a hybrid Sony handheld device was dead, because Sony didn't actually support it and make it work, you know. But right here, we were supposed to put our PlayStation Vita games right here, just like that, and this would be connected to the TV. You got Ethernet port, HDMI port, you got the card right there, and you would hook up this to the TV, and you would actually supposed to take a game out from here, put it here, and start playing on TV, which for me was a freaking awesome idea. But guess what? Sony didn't support it, and they quit really fast. But then on March 2017, the Nintendo Switch officially comes out to the market. And this was officially the real hybrid console, being able to play games on the go, then put it on the dock, and then play it on the TV. Just like that. Very easy, nothing to learn. And since then, since March 2017, I started playing more games on my Nintendo device than on the PlayStation and Xbox console. So on the Xbox console and PlayStation, then right there on those two consoles on the TV, what I was playing was AAA games and exclusive games from both consoles on the TV, like the Assassin's Creed, all the exclusive games for Xbox and PlayStation. That's the only games I was actually playing on the TV. But you know, I was actually playing more games on the Nintendo Switch than I was playing on the PlayStation or Xbox. And then in February 2022, the Steam Deck actually officially comes out. And I tell you, this was a huge change towards portable gaming for me, because now that the Steam Deck was out, that meant that we could play like almost every single PC game, AAA game that came out on Xbox and PlayStation here on my handheld device. And it was so good. And of course, the huge advantage of playing here on the Steam Deck is that since we get the games from the Steam store, there's a whole bunch of great sales. Most of the times, the same games that came out the same day on PC and consoles, it was always cheaper here. So after February 2022, I was mostly playing video games, almost every single AAA games on my Steam Deck. And of course, I was still playing a lot of games on the Nintendo Switch, exclusive games and a lot of indie games on the Nintendo Switch. So that means that right there, after this came out, I stopped playing AAA games almost completely on the PlayStation and Xbox console. So the only games that I was actually playing on the PlayStation or Xbox consoles was the AAA exclusive games that were not available on PC, right? But right now, a lot of that things is changing, especially from Sony. There's a lot of exclusive Sony games still coming out for PC, but they're not coming out day on day. So yeah, after the Steam Deck came out in 2022, I started playing more AAA games here. I kept playing a lot more games on the Nintendo Switch, and the only things that I was playing on the PlayStation and Xbox on my TV was actually only exclusive PlayStation or Xbox games. But of course, I have to mention the Legion Go devices and ROG Ally devices and the One X Player devices, because thanks to the success of the Steam Deck, all of these Windows handheld devices have been getting better. Like for example, this right here is the Legion Go. This is a very awesome beast. And the great thing is that thanks to these Windows handheld devices, even though they are not perfect, but guess what I can play here? Is Xbox exclusive games on day one. Now that Xbox has said that everything is in Xbox, your smartphone is in Xbox, your TV is in Xbox, your ROG Ally or your Windows handheld is in Xbox. So I'm taking them by the words and following and respecting what they say. And yes, it's true what they say. This is now an Xbox. So now that the Steam Deck came out, now that the Switch is out, now that these handheld devices have been getting a lot better, there's no reason for me to actually own a Xbox console so I can play on my TV, because this right here, on day one, I get all the exclusive games from Xbox Game Pass, right? And the cool thing is that Xbox Game Pass here is actually cheaper than on the console. So for example, right now as I'm making this video, Xbox Game Pass PC is only $12 a month, and you get to play the latest greatest games like Expedition 33 or Doom Dark Ages that I just finished yesterday. You get to play these games on day one on your Windows handheld devices, and you just pay $12 a month, plus you get all that and everything else for just $12 a month. If you're gonna play it on the console, it's going to be $20 a month. So yeah, in other words, thanks to the Steam Deck, these devices have been getting a lot better. So now you find me only playing exclusive PlayStation 5 games on the TV. That's it. And guess what? The nail to the coffin. In 2023, November, the PlayStation Portal actually comes out. And what the PlayStation Portal is supposed to be a very glorified PlayStation Vita, but of course without the internal installation of games, right? It was supposed to play, it was only supposed to do PlayStation Remote Play gaming on this awesome 8-inch screen, which was beautiful. But of course, this actually got updated like I think it was last year, where now not only can you use it for remote playing your PlayStation 5 games, you can also just paid PlayStation Premium and played cloud game streaming here from the PlayStation Plus Premium service. So in other words, you don't actually need a PlayStation 5 console to play video games here, but if you want to play the latest and greatest via remote play, you do need a PlayStation 5 console. So in other words, after this came out, I was playing all my PlayStation 5 games here in handheld device, not on the TV. And when I did my 2024 favorite PlayStation 5 games, I just realized that in 2024, I did not play once any of the great games that came out, like Stellar Blade, Astrobot, Rise of the Ronin. All those games, I played it and started completely here on the PlayStation Portal. So in other words, the PlayStation Portal was actually the nail to the coffin for me playing video games on the TV via an Xbox or a PlayStation. But in this case, this was the nail to the coffin for the PlayStation 5 games being played on the TV. And of course, the reason that actually made me do this video, I was actually thinking of doing this video a long time ago, but I was like, I don't know if I should or not. But the number one thing that actually pushed me to actually make this video is because you know that the Switch 2 is about to come out in less than a week from now. By the time you watch this video, it's going to be days before we get our hands on the Nintendo Switch 2, right? And guess what I normally do when I want to get a new console and I have the old console? I normally trade in my old console, whether in this case it would have been my Switch OLED, or I could have traded in my Switch Lite, right? But guess what I decided to do instead? I decided to sell my Xbox Series S with the screen as well. And I got around, I think I got like a little bit over $300 because I sold it with the screen, which was a good deal. And in a way, I was regretting it a little bit, but I really don't. So I actually, instead of trading in my old console, I could have done this or that. I decided to trade it in my Xbox Series S console with the screen, and that's definitely the nail to the coffin when you think about it for me playing video games on the TV. Because when you think about it, why should I even keep the Xbox Series S? Why should I even buy an Xbox console when Xbox is telling us that this most likely in the future, not this one, but the Switch 2, most likely in the future is going to be your Xbox console. Your PlayStation in the future could be your Xbox. Your smartphone is your Xbox. Your TV is your Xbox. So think about it. Why would I keep the Xbox Series S when it's actually collecting dust? When I'm playing all my handheld, on my handhelds, I'm actually playing every exclusive Xbox games. Why? So that's why I actually decided to go ahead and sell my Xbox Series S to actually get, or bring down the price of the Nintendo Switch 2. And right there, I decided to go ahead and make this video because I just realized that, wow, gaming on the TV, I think is totally dead for me. And right now, like for example, if 2 years from now, the PlayStation 6 comes out and there's a handheld, which is rumored that PlayStation is actually thinking of doing a handheld PlayStation Vita 2 or whatever that's going to play maybe PlayStation 6 games. Guess what console I'm going to buy? Guess which version I'm going to buy? I'm going to get the portable version. I'm going to get the PlayStation portable device if it can actually play PlayStation 6 games, which I don't think that's going to happen because it would have to be very, very powerful for it to be able to play PlayStation 6 game. But if that was real, if that was a reality, I would actually prefer to buy the handheld portable PlayStation 6 or whatever they call it over the console than instead of playing on the TV. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this video, because I just realized that ever since 2012, when the PlayStation Vita actually came out here in the United States, or 2011 for me, gaming on the TV has been dying. Gaming on the TV has been dying, and every single of these devices have been a nail to the coffin of playing video games on my TV, sitting in my couch, playing with the controller in my hands. Yeah, I can't be the only one that this is happening to. So let me know in the comments, you guys out there, what you think about me replacing TV from the couch to handheld devices. And are you in my same situation? If you are, let me know in the comments, how did you transition from console to portable gaming? And if you prefer console still over portable gaming, just let me know in the comments why. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you actually liked the video and share it as well. Thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.